What's going on, friends and family? Today I'm just wanting to talk about where are my people? What does that mean? Is there us and is there them? Like, what is going on in this world right now where it just seems to me like we have, excuse the beeping in the background, we have a lot of people who just don't care anymore. And when I say my people, I look at, let me tell you guys a story maybe of where my people, what happens is I'm ready to pull out for work one morning and it's raining and I'm living with my grandpa, who was one of my people, somebody who's willing to work, knows how to fix things, knows a lot about a lot of things, knows how to laugh, knows how to joke around and make life fun instead of everything so boring. But I'm pulling out and I look over and I see the auto mechanic down the street who was working out of his house, and he's up there trying to put a tarp on in his roof to stop a leak, and I could tell by the way they're doing it, it's not going to stop it. So I got pissed off. I just stopped and I said, hey, and I went and grabbed some sealants I had in my truck, and they already had a ladder set up. I went up there and I said, get this tarp out of here. This ain't gonna work. And he goes, what do I need to do? I said, let me do my thing, and I got to get to work. I don't have time for this right now. Let me just patch your leak for you. So I put a patch on there and it stopped the leak for him. And I come back, a few weeks later, I see him out there and he waves, hey, what's going on, and well, a couple of months pass by, and next thing I know, I have some like scraping in my front rotors, something going on in my truck as I'm taking off to work, and I'm over there looking at it, spinning it, and he throws his hands up in the air, sees me in the morning, and he's like, what's going on? He starts heading over. He says, what's the trouble here? I says, I don't know, there's some sort of scratching, my brakes look fine and everything, and he walks away, grabs his buddy, they jack up the whole front end of my truck in like literally a minute, pop off both tires, spins the tires, gets a water hose and hoses out. There was a rock stuck inside my brake pad. And I said, how much do I owe you? And he just threw his hand down, the old man kind of thing, like, get the heck out of here, I ain't got time for it. So it's a man thing kind of, where, banter, I guess, back and forth and stuff like that, but it's camaraderie. And the thing is that was a friend for life. The worst thing you can do to somebody is give them something without expecting anything in return. And that's when I teach my kids that, is like, opportunities will open up to you everywhere. That's why I have so many people who are willing to help me out. In the past, loan me money, or if I need advice on something, they're like, oh yeah. It's a friend of mine loaned me about $2,000 when I was first starting out to make payroll on a job I did, my first big job. And he said, yeah, no problem, dude. It's money in the bank. I know you're good for it. So it gave me that boost. But I wonder, the whole reason for the show, what I've been doing is to find my type of people. I mean, I would love to turn this into a gig, maybe a part-time gig one day. But the whole reason more towards it was conversation. I don't see a lot of my people out there. Is there a us and is there a them? I think that there is. There's a lot of things to take in consideration here. I did this show because all the things that I'm interested in talking about, the concerns I have, my people, where I come from, you slow down when let me tell you guys another story. I'm driving down a highway and there's just butterflies must have hatched. There was millions of them going by and they're splattering my windshield. I'm driving like, 60 miles an hour down this highway. It's a 2-lane highway, by the way. And I just saw them and I immediately slowed down, like, oh my God, there's a hatch. There's something, a thing going on right now. Not a phenomenon, just, it's a large quantity of this species production. And I slowed down and people started flying by me, honking their horns and stuff. And I just started to be a jerk. And what I did is I blocked both lanes and I just drove around 10 miles an hour, zigzagging, real slow, pissing. I mean, people honking. I must have got the middle finger about 20, 30 times. But as I was driving, I kept waving my hand, speaking to the butterflies. Run, my brothers and sisters. I don't know if they're hermaphrodites or what's going on, But I'm like, pass. I'm giving you guys I only got one window. I can't make a circle and go back around again, I'm stopping the people, the evildoers, and let you go by. We should have, my people would have shut that highway down and said, hey guys, let's take a different route. Let's fence this thing off. We have a huge population of butterflies coming through, So my people would have understood. But instead, I got a big middle finger. And I can understand that people just, they're dislocated. They're not in tune with nature. They're not in tune with their surroundings. I don't think they're even in tune with themselves. So let me move forward with my concerns here. Rolling into the future as a human society, is that we have a lot of this going on. I'm in the construction industry and just a lot of people don't care about their work. A lot of employees that I've had, they don't care about their work. Almost everywhere I go, I ask for help in department stores and stuff like that. It's like people are all stoned, they're all high or something, and the look in their face. In fact, it was yesterday, I went in, and this is probably a good, I don't want to sit here and complain, but this is a positive. I have a place called Grand Jetto's Farm Supply here in North County, San Diego, and I have a garden business that I'm running, and it's a garden club. And I set up a thing about a year ago where we have a code. Anybody who comes into the store and says this code, Violet's Buyers Club, or whatever it is, gets a 10% discount on anything in the store. Guys, if you buy a tractor, you get a 10% discount. That's huge. And I says, in exchange for doing this for my followers, my people, what I'll do is I'll give them a code and refer them all over to you. And so I go to there, and it's been a year, and I asked the guy at the cash register, anybody coming in here asking for this code? I don't know. No, we don't have a code. I'm like, he's like, well, who are you? What are you doing? Like I said, I have a garden club. He's like, we've had a garden club for years. And just kept throwing this thing around, like, kind of like just blocking me. Like, yeah, Fallbrook has one. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one who started. He's like, no, it's called the Fallbrook Garden Club. It's Fallbrook, California, where I live. And he kept going back and forth. So that's awesome, trying to be nice. And then he goes, yeah, we're not interested. We already have one. And I said, are you the manager? And he said, no. And I said, well, let me just speak to the manager. So I spoke to the manager. The manager was awesome. Heck yeah, we still have you in the computer. And anybody you send over here, we're actually trying to promote this stuff. But the guy at the cash register kept trying to, let's say, jerk block me, right? And the thing that got in my mind was it wasn't just that. But if I would have started out in my younger years trying to promote, get something going, and I talked to this jerk off, I would have walked out the door and said, well, that ain't going to work. Unless I ask to bypass this person who just doesn't give a crap about anything and says, I'd like to speak to the manager, please. Talk to them, go direct to the source. I mean, this guy, if someone came into me and asked me, I'd give them all kinds of, here's some phone numbers, some people I know, how can I help you, basically, not shut you down. And I think as we move forward as a society in the future of everything, production, right? Food, electricity, water, energy, all of these things that we need to do. We have just an influx of people. I wouldn't say maybe an influx, a pandemic, really a real pandemic of people just don't care. And life's going to get harder because people just don't care about one another. That's not my people, basically what I want to say. And I think that a lot of us, whatever you're doing, you're going to have to fight in the future from here going forward to make yourself known, to get where you want to go, because there's not a lot of people that are going to help you. Just like that little jerk off guy at the store, at the Grand Jetto's Farm Supply place. If you're listening, you know who you are, right? I'd call him out, bring him on the show. Let's talk to him. I have many, many concerns about this. Is where do we go from here? What do we do? I think for me, with this, there's banking right now. This is mid-March. Actually, tomorrow's my birthday on St. Patty's Day, March 17th, 2023. Moving forward, I look at the bank collapses and stuff like that, things that are happening right now. There's so much going on, and I think it's the negligence of people, and I think that it's more of the people wanting to make cash to be prosperous instead of worrying about the future generations. Yeah, I'll get my money, get mine, and who cares what happens to these people? I get mine, what happens to nature, right? My type of people, when you pull out on the highway, say in the state of Oregon, and you see a big logging truck with these big old logs on it, it's like a funeral procession. My people stop, take their hats off, and look at those trees and say, damn, you know how many years of growth that was? And just cut down to become toilet paper or, a tool shed that somebody needs? Right, all the housing, the stuff that cutting down that forest, how much detriment, the animals, the microbiology, the birds, right, the insects, everything that is involved in that forest, and we just chop and haul stuff away, very irresponsibly, in my opinion, anyways. But my people want to be prosperous. We don't want to be poor. Nothing against money, but we want to be able to do this like permaculture style, where we're stacking functions and where it's a long-term relationship. When you carve out a ditch, also known as a swale, in a piece of land and you plant trees, it brings the birds, right? And this gives you, say you put nut trees, it'll give you for the rest of your life. It'll give you to your children's children. It just blocked the water because you put this ditch on contour. It fills up with water, the frogs come, the trees get water, the forest starts, the animals start to show up. It starts to produce things because of something you did. Maybe your initial thing was cutting the ground and, severing it. But for the long game, everything that we do should be towards the future generations, for the animals, the insects. Think of life like a smorgasbord. All the animals, all the insects and everything, everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs to eat. And what we do as a human society, as the other people, not us, them, they just rape the land, they cover the land with concrete, and they leave no consideration for all living creatures. And if we take consideration for all living creatures, everybody wins, everybody gets. And here's the scary part. I don't think that people will ever change. It would take like the sun burning through the ozone, you know, starting forest fires and stuff, burning homes down, like a major catastrophe before people would say, you know what, maybe I should do something about this. Maybe I should start living a more simpler life, or maybe not just simple, but a cleaner life. Maybe I should start considering, because wow, you know, let's just remove all the bees in the world. Right? Who's going to pollinate things? But it will take that moment where people are starving to where it's almost too late, in my opinion, before they give a damn about anything. That is scary. I think moving forward from here, for the future of myself, my goals are to get out of the rat race completely. I mean, I'm like fringing it right now. I'm halfway in, I'm halfway out. I've talked about this before in the show, where it's incorporating technology and nature both together. Can we put them together? I look at such things as like YouTube, the learning. I need a phone which has got, you know, toxic, I think cobalt or something, comes from a very horrible mine in different parts of the world. You know, and it's a bad thing, the way they make this thing. It's a pollutant. But you know how much good this little tiny box has taught me how to carve land and create an entire forest, right? For life, for centuries. So there's a give and there's a take. I think that it's time to get away from these people, start producing something for yourself on a larger scale. That's my goal, to start farming again. There's multiple, I mean, I can go all over the place on the plans and things that I'm already doing. But I want to get out, and I think it's for the goodness, for the cleanliness of the earth, for myself, to leave the rats in the rat race and to find your people. I think life's boring, I guess is what I'd like to say, living by yourself. And I'd like to find my people through like this show here. If you're out there, you know, let me know. If you guys want the show to keep going, please like, subscribe, please comment, please let me know. I guess I'm getting out of here. That's why I'm not posting as much. I'm very freaked out with the whole situation that's going on right now. I'm going into major food production. I'm also looking to start my garden business, so I have an income coming in, a side hustle, which I think you guys should do as well. So I'm very preoccupied with that right now. But I love doing this show, and I'm searching out to find my peeps. And I don't know what more to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on all this. I've got to give it a shot. I've got to try to get out of here. I can't live like this, and I wonder if you guys can. And I'm just wondering, the great message of this show is, where are my people? And it is already turning into us and them. It could be family members, it could be your friends. It's definitely the society around you who would look at somebody who doesn't pay taxes. I do pay taxes, but I aim to not pay taxes. That's for damn sure. And it's legal. It's not illegal. I mean, taxation helps the rat race, but there are rich people, there are millionaires, there are investors in things, which I've been learning about for the past couple of years, where you legally don't have to pay taxes. And to tell you guys, maybe to leave the system, to leave the rat race, there's just so many things that the other people don't know, and maybe you don't know, is that 95% of the IRS, the literature, is how to not pay taxes. Right? It's all write-offs. 5% is the laws that show why you have to pay taxes. Here's a section on what, if you do this, you'll have to pay taxes. The rest of the whole thing is teaching you and showing you laws of how you don't have to. Look it up for yourself. Yet we in the rat race, through, you know, our educational institutions and things like that, none of this is ever taught to people. People don't know how to grow trees. They don't know how to use animal husbandry, how to produce for themselves, even in the slightest sense, how to produce their own electricity. A solar panel on a car battery, one of the most simplest things to do. Yet a lot of people are freaked out. I don't know. Where's my people out there? You guys, that's what I think. What do you guys think about the whole situation? And I'm going to get back to work here. I'll see you guys on the next one.